Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It's a little chilly out here in Green River, Wyoming. It's 46 degrees right now. The wind is blowing, so the wind is definitely chilly, but I had to step away. Do you guys ever get that? Like, it wasn't the work, but I needed to step away from my office for a few minutes. It seems like it's been a while since I've taken a break because I have been busy at work, but today it was definitely one of those mental health moments where I've got to get away. So I started going through, good morning, Sherry, how are you? I started going through some of my information that I'd done previously. I've got several lives that I've been wanting to do and share some things with you guys that I've been learning and that I got a lot out of. So I looked through those, and today there was one that it really touched me. So here's the thing. So how many of you, most of us, have had something bad, some people very, very tragically bad happen to them, and you try to numb it. So I've had many things in my life that I wanted to numb or forget or, something like that. And I remember that it's funny. So way back in college, I realized that I had no memories. I had no memories since before a certain point in my life. And I couldn't figure out why. I was then going to college with people who were telling me stories that they'd actually remembered, not just reiterating stories, but, stories from when they were really little. And now looking at my children, they can tell you stories, as back as, far back as when they were 2 or 3 years old. And I had none of those. And I remember talking to a professor, I was actually in nursing school at the time, and he asked me a couple questions and said, okay, when you get to a point where you try to, like I said, he didn't use the word numb, that's what I was just listening to, but when you try to forget something, or you're trying to, act like something never happened, but mainly like you're trying to forget something, you don't get to just forget the bad things. You also forget the good things. And that's the same thing. So I've gone through life ever since college really realizing that that's why I don't remember from before a certain period in my life, because there was a lot of things I wanted to forget. And unfortunately, there went a lot of other things that I forgot. And what I'm realizing now is that how bad numbing is. It's not only that I don't have the memories, I realized that I also numbed a lot of things in my life and my own emotions. And now I believe, you guys, if you guys have ever gone through this, but I believe the only real way to get past it is to feel those things. And I'm trying to get past certain things as easy as I can. I don't want to say easy, but without, a friend of mine is saying that there is a couple ways that we can do this without really, you can release it, you can get through it without having to feel all of it, because obviously you've numbed it, or you don't want to remember it for a certain reason, and it's probably that it's painful. So the main thing is you can't just numb the bad stuff. You're going to also numb the good. So what I'm realizing at age 45 is that you just got to feel it. There's a lot of heartbreak. There's a lot of really bad, tragic things that happen to people. There's a lot of horrible things. And maybe you don't have to feel it 100%, but you can't numb things, you guys. That's the main thing I want to get across is try as best you can to deal with things without completely forgetting or numbing, because that's not going to do you any good in the long run. You're also going to numb all the good things. I look back on my life and there was a lot of shit, but oh my gosh, there was so much good. And I realize now that I missed out on a lot of good things and a lot of good feelings, because once you start numbing the bad stuff, you become a shadow of yourself. Of course you put up that wall, you don't let a lot of people in, and you're going through a lot of stuff, and you just, essentially you just push those feelings down. You push them down, you push them down. That's what I mean by numbing. I'm not going to feel this today. I'm just going to push it down, and then each time it feels like it just gets a little deeper, doesn't it? And it gets a little deeper, and it gets a little deeper. And then when you finally decide, maybe you want to feel something, or you fell in love with someone, and you do want to feel, you do want to be able to love, it's difficult because all that crap is down there that you've just pushed down and pushed down and pushed down. So the only thing I want to say, the point today is, if something bad happens or something comes up, try your best to feel through it. Don't push those feelings down. Don't numb. Don't, just completely try to forget everything, because you can't just forget the good, and you can't just numb the good. So anyway, I hope, like I said, a few things that I'm learning maybe help somebody out there. There's times I don't want to go live. There's times I don't want to be vulnerable or put things out there, and then I tell myself I'm not doing that anymore. I don't want to be negative Nancy. I don't want to this or that. And I tell you, no matter when you get really vulnerable and you tell a real story about yourself, that's when I get the messages, thank you, I needed to hear this today, or thank you, I was going through that, or I've gone through that, and it helped. So anyway, that's the only reason I do this and put it out there, because I know that if I've gone through something, or if I am going through something, chances are someone else has too. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic Tuesday, getting out. I'm going to go finish my break on a nice little walk. I do believe it's definitely helping my mental health. I had to step away today. If you ever do that, I hope that you're in a place that you can step away. Even if you can't go outside and go for a walk for 15 minutes, just step away. Say you've got to use the restroom. I know there's a lot of occupations and things like that you can't just, always step away. But sometimes, trust me, for your mental health and for the relationships and other people that you're working with, sometimes it's just best to step away. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a fantastic Tuesday. We'll talk soon.